The next color we're going to do is the fur. For that, I'm going to use Amber Gold 9032. I've taken the matte away, thinking maybe that'll help it focus so it doesn't have anything nice and crisp to focus in on. And I am just going to start with, I was going to start with the nose or somewhere, but I'll just start with the ears to begin with. I didn't want to start underneath the bonnet because it's still early in the morning. I'm thinking that paint might be a little thick. So I just brushed a brush full of water into it. Yeah, the paint was still sticking to the brush after swishing it around in the water, so yeah, just a little thick. So let me actually dip into the water and just brush that around a bit. Of course, now that's too thin, but I'll suck it all up with the brush. I'll let that dry. I'll switch to the other ear with my nicely thinned paint now. Get in here. It's still focusing on the desk, isn't it? Rotten, rotten, rotten. Ah, no! Not on the bonnet. Oh. Well, this is just going swimmingly, isn't it? Out of focus. There we go. Looks like it focuses when I get up close. So I'm just taking my dry brush and trying to get over that. Ah! Yeah, maybe I should just end the video here and call it good. Okay, I had to go back and repaint the blue up on top there. But hopefully we can now continue with a little bit better progress. I'm trying to get it centered here and in focus. But it doesn't want to focus on anything. Ah, can you tell I'm not having a good day? Like, really, what are you focusing on? Hello, thank you. This is a very awkward position to paint in. Of course, as soon as I move my hands, you're going to take the focus away. Ah, Lord. Well, that's as best as I can do, probably. I am kind of using an inside-out painting method, so that bonnet strap will be painted over the fur. Palette's in a position to... I'll get too much paint. And first thing I do is touch the bonnet. Ah. I'm painting up underneath that bonnet that, if you watched the last video, you heard me complaining about. Or just the fact that I was going to have to try to paint that. Since the primer is white, I'm not sure I'm going to try too hard to get a perfect line in there. Although that blue spot on her nose needs to be painted over. And since this is a light color, it's probably going to take me several coats to get this done. And again, I'm not trying too terribly hard to stay within the lines, so to speak, and I'm out of frame. I really should be washing the brush off. It's getting up towards the ferrule. No, don't focus on that. Focus on this. Covering over that blue. I was going to say it's going to be a pain, but it looks like 2 coats will probably get it. Really? Actually, I'm finding it almost easier to paint in the camera, or by watching the camera rather than see it. Okay, I'm just going to have to paint it upside down. You're going to get to see nothing. One of the problems of painting on... There we go. I guess I could just lean over more. And of course my brush is dry. Nearly so. I'm trying to do every brush stroke on camera here. Obviously I've already violated that with the retouch of the bonnet, but necessity. I still got that little spot on the ear. The other ear might need a little bit more. Okay, 2 little spots left. We have the paws. Well, I guess if it's anthropomorphic, would they still be considered paws? Or are they now counted as hands? Discuss amongst yourselves. Or in the comments below. Hey. I can see a little blue spot on her hand right there, which I got. Which apparently is, since I'm calling them hands now, they are now hands. I almost think I shouldn't paint this side, because I've got all the cornucopia underneath it that will need to be painted. Back in view here. Again, a little blue on the hands, which we'll clean up as we paint the base coats. And I'll probably have to come back and touch all that back up. Let's get underneath here, the other side of the chin strap. I just want to ensure I've got a good coverage right there. And a little spot on her ear. And it's got the same spot on this here. And so, thus ends our playing around with amber gold. Frickin' frackin' brickin' brackin'. So, I'm now going to use burnt orange, 9111. And this will be for the pumpkins. I think when I was playing around with it yesterday, it was one of these colors that I bought 6 years ago and have never used, even though it's got the little color on the top. That's because I was playing around with it, trying to get it reconstituted. This should be a lot easier because we're just doing the pumpkins. And I have seen 3 pumpkins on her, or at least on the base. I'm wondering, on the little pumpkin stem, should I go with a nice green stem? Or a bit more dried up and brown? Try to tilt it towards what I'm actually painting. Cover up all that blue, at least that all that I can see. There's no stem on this one. I wonder if it's upside down. Okay, so the last pumpkin is on that cornucopia right there. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I find it amusing that every time I upload one of these videos to YouTube, it kindly suggests that it could help by de-jittering the image. I think that's just me sitting here moving it around and shaking it. So, other than the spots I missed, that's it for this video. I've done the one base coat. I don't think there's any reason for me to show the second base coat, especially since I had all that fun and excitement at the very beginning of this video. It's probably just time to call it good. Let that dry really good. You know, oranges and yellows and reds are typically hard to paint anyway. And I missed inside on top of her nose. Just a dab. Like right next to where her eye is. It's impossible to show on video. Oh, you might want to get the other side of her nose. That might be a little important. So I'm going to dab around here, try to clean up so it actually looks like fur. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. So, there we are. Second coat will be off camera. But, coming along very ugly. I really don't like the light fur against the blue. But we'll go with it and see how it is. Maybe she just has really bad color sense and it's not that great dressing herself, especially since she's a blue-dressed pilgrim. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video.